I am Roy Collin, the host of the podcast. You can find everything about me by scanning the QR code there or going to roycollin.com, and you'll find my 6 podcasts: the Podfather, helping people become podcasters; the Awakening, exposing fraud and corruption but with solutions; the Crypto, all things blockchain technology; meditation podcast; speaking podcast; and the Learn Polish podcast. You can also help the show by actually making a donation, visiting the store, or helping my sponsors. I hope you enjoyed this week's show. Welcome to the Meditation Podcast. You can find all our episodes on meditationpodcast.org. My guest today, from Brighton in the UK, award-winning founder of the relationship coach and Easyoga. Hope I'm pronounced that properly. You've been featured on the BBC, Huffington Post UK, and a lot more. You're author of BEE Fit, Baby, Enhanced Exercise, Fitness. Please welcome Gemma.
Thank you. You got it right as well. Germany's not nice.
It's nice to meet you, Mrs. Niece.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited. It's going to be good fun.
Yeah, I suppose let's talk about the name first of all. Like, where does that come from? And
it does actually come from the French town Nice. Yeah, and when I got married, my husband took my name. So my name is my birth name. And yeah, when we got married, he wanted my name, so I kept my name.
Well, I can't say I blame him because it's a nice surname to have. We want positivity and to have a nice word like that as well in your name. It's great.
Yeah. Ancestry, I don't really know where it kind of came from. All I know that it is from France. I should do that really.
So I know we're going to touch on, obviously, the book, breathwork, tapping and all that, but I always like to know kind of your own journey, how you got into all this and where it began.
Yes. Back in 2006, actually, I was a veterinary nurse for 19 years. I did that. And in 2006, I was a head nurse of a branch practice, and I stayed with the same practice for 19 years. And at that point, my husband and I, we weren't married then, but at that point, we both were working different shifts. We weren't seeing each other. We were just like losing ourselves. And at that point, there was like, I think, a scratch on my car or something. And we'd had an argument about it that day. And a dog nearly died because of me. So I was doing the anesthetic and I was constantly thinking about this scratch on my car. And then the dog nearly died, of which I then had to go and tell the owners that it was my fault. It was a horrible day. But that was kind of the turning point that we thought, right, we need to go away. We need to go backpacking around the world, get out of whatever we're in and just try and find some happiness, like semblance of happiness. And so we did. We took 6.5 months out. We went to travel the world. We backpacked around the world. We went to South Africa, China, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, New Zealand, LA, back home again. And while in Thailand, I found yoga, and we were just sat on a beach in Thailand in Koh Phangan in hammocks, and these 5 Thai people were doing weird things in the sand, of which was yoga. So I thought that just looks beautiful to me. It looks idyllic. It just looked lovely. And so when we got to Malaysia, I bought an Idiot's Guide to Yoga, which I still have about 17 years later. And then when we got to New Zealand, I bought a mat, and yeah, the rest is history really, because it really did help. It helped my mental health. It helped my body. It helped try and get us back together again by finding breath work, meditation, movement. And yeah, we came back and we're still as strong as ever, nearly 24 years later.
And that's fantastic to do that. Like, but did you kind of do it on budget going around?
Budget. Yeah.
But I think everyone should be able to do that. It is such a great thing because then you realize that it's not about things, it's about experiences.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And we have 2 children now, and we often talk about going to South Africa, or when Hugo, my son, he's 10, he wants to, wants the world basically. And then we'll say, well, when we were in South Africa, we went quad biking. And we were playing with all these kids in this village that didn't have anything. They just had one popped football that they were playing with, and we were chasing them around, and that was amazing fun. And they didn't have anything, and we were just there all afternoon playing with them. And you just think, wow, kids now have so much that they just don't know what to do. Whereas if you take yourself out of that situation and you go somewhere where you haven't got all of this stuff, Yeah, it's just amazing. It really is. It's incredible.
It's kind of important for parents and so. But something like that I've always done is I always make sure that I'm buying stuff that will do. So even if it's Uno, it's a card game, but I know it's kind of using strategy and stuff. And a lot of games are kind of memory. Even recently, I got my youngest, he's 10, like darts, because I said it's like focusing. Because when you're playing darts, you're not thinking of anything else. And then you're working on your maths, plus I'm getting him to practice his numbers as well. I go, hey, I can't see that number right. You have to write that clearer and everything. So there's a few. And same with basketball and stuff. But I see, unfortunately, loads of people, they're buying all the gimmicks and everything. And they're just looking, you do your thing, I do my thing. And all a child wants is they want your time and you sit down. So you don't need to have, 100,000 in your bank account. You can be just living week to week. You buy a game of cards for Uno that costs a couple of bucks.
Yeah.
And they will play for hours with you. They just want your attention.
Yeah. We love Uno. I think we've got about 5 or 6 different ones of that. It's great.
Oh, we're the same. We're Uno Flip and Uno Express. And this, we got Avengers one recently. It's like, but that's like, you've seen that. Like, that's like simple things, but they love it. Whereas, unfortunately, with the technology, people are just kind of going, here, have your phone. And yeah, oh, it's great. Everyone's happy. But the reality is that's when it leads to problems.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Mental health, definitely. And also I think that they want more, they don't want exactly more attention, but they certainly want your full attention, like your 100% attention, instead of you're on your phone and they're asking you a question and then you get annoyed with them because they're annoying you because you're on your phone and you just think, wow, this is wrong. This is wrong. Let's put the phone down and let's have 100% on you.
And I think, because like what I do is, I say, all right, we're going to do this. We might do something for 2 hours. Then we do our own thing for 2 hours. Where some people think you have to do together. And all you do is get on each other's nerves if you do that. And everyone gets tired. And everyone is happy then. You just go away, you do, so you get your stuff done, whether it's your chores or, for me, editing a podcast and stuff like that. And he's watching his stuff. And then you come back and you do the same again. And it's like, that way, you're just happy the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a rule in our house, actually, from 5 p.m., which is dinner time, no phones at the table, and then no phones until the kids go to bed. So the kids don't have phones, but no devices or anything for everybody in the house until they go to bed, which is usually around about 8 o'clock. And then, yeah, if we need to check stuff, we will check stuff as adult time. But yeah, no phones from 5 till 8 p.m. But it works.
So your own Easyoga. So
it's easy yoga.
Oh, it's easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I suppose, like, what's the difference? What exactly you kind of entail with that?
With easy yoga, yeah, there are so many different kind of variations of yoga, but it mainly is a big umbrella, I suppose, for the yoga, which is movement. Then we've got the meditation, EFT tapping, breath work. All of those kind of modalities and energy work, all of those modalities kind of come under the easy yoga. And I help my clients. So I'm a relationship coach as well. So I use all of those things to come at yourself when you are broken. But using these things, you can then heal yourself and come from a place of love rather than broken, for you to have that self-love, for you to then love someone else. And I love it. It's amazing. Certainly with meditation and breath work, it's just incredible.
Like, I like the word easy yoga because, like, sometimes, I mean, I do kind of back classes and shape classes and stuff like that. And sometimes I get you to plank for, I mean, I'm all right, like, but I can see people, like, and even after a minute, I start shaking. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it takes the joy out of it if you're kind of doing positions that are hurting you. And I know there's downward dog and there's all these things. I haven't done yoga classes as such, but I see a lot on it. But I know that if it's hurting you, it takes the joy out of it, which in turn doesn't make you want to do it. And I think by having something that's actually easy enough, but it's still beneficial, because what I've learned is I do kind of back class thing. And I used to, every now and again, maybe every 3 months you get a problem with your back. But since I started doing this, I've done it for like year and a half or whatever, because you're lifting your hands, you're doing this, you're doing movements that you probably would be doing years ago, but don't do it anymore. And that's why you get up. And I don't get any more pain. And it's like, to be honest, this class is actually very enjoyable for me. There's not this hurting. But I know that sometimes people are doing something and they go, "No, this is too painful," or they're, it's like that. I don't know, a torture camp. I kind of class it.
Yeah. And yoga shouldn't hurt, or any kind of movement shouldn't hurt. It should be slightly uncomfortable, but the whole saying of the slogan of no pain, no gain, that is not right in yoga, because you shouldn't have any pain. It should be no pain, but really noticing and being within your body, because when you're in a plank position or any kind of, any kind of gym workout or anything, you are not really working on your body. Yes, you are physically, but your mind is elsewhere thinking, right, okay, I need to get 10 squats done and I've got so much to do. I need to email this person back, or I need to cook dinner, or I need to sort the kids' bags out and things. Whereas yoga or other kind of movement, gentle movement, brings you into the body. So when you are actually in a pose or you're in a yoga movement, you're actually thinking, okay, I can feel this here. So your actual attention is on maybe your pelvis or your lower back, because you've got lower back issues or pain somewhere. So by bringing your attention, your focus and concentration into that one area, and by bringing in the breath work, you're automatically being in your body. Like you were saying earlier with the dartboard, you're focusing on something rather than thinking, right, I've got 1,000,001 things to do. I need to do this really, really quickly. It's not like that. It doesn't need to be like that. Or even if you just got 5 minutes to get up in the morning, do at least one, just get out of bed and do one big stretch up, big deep breath in, because then you're filling up your lungs with fresh oxygen. You're really stretching and opening your chest, your muscles, and it's just a great way to start the day. But also noticing throughout the day where your shoulders are. Most of the time, our shoulders are up like this because we're really stressed out. It's not until someone says, just push your shoulders down and relax. You're like, that feels good.
With the breath work, then what? Because there's so many different types. I mean, I've experienced, 10 different facilitators, maybe more, and they all kind of have their own little tweak. What kind of one are you using?
I love Ujjayi breathing, which is a breathwork practice like Darth Vader. So it really does sound like Darth Vader. You use that.
So the force is with you, is it?
Bring in. That's quite an energetic one that we do use in Vinyasa yoga. But also square breathing, box breathing. A lot of people probably use that a lot in everyday not everyday breathing, but that goes back to as well. Everyday breathing, we don't breathe correctly at all. Like we're quite hunched over, shoulders are forward, that's squashing our chest, our diaphragm. It's not allowing us to use this whole capacity within our lungs to actually use the breath correctly and properly. So that's why we feel sluggish and tired, because we're always hunched over. We're working from home or offices or desks. A lot of us don't really have standing desks, so then our posture's always forwards, which then is collapsing the neck on the top of the spine. So everything kind of fits in with each other. Whereas if you do bring a couple of breathwork practices into your daily practice, mind, whatever, you can really feel the benefits of it. And there's another one called vagus nerve breathing, which is incredible because that does wake up everything. It wakes up all of the different chakras within your body, the energy centers, and really just allows your whole body to feel energized, relaxed, but also ready to face the day. So yeah, there's so many different breathwork practices. And if you look into it, you're like, oh my word, what should I do?
I think the main thing is just try a few. And when you feel something that resonates, then you go, yeah, I've got it.
Yeah, definitely. It's trying not to make anything too hard and not too fast. We need to bring it into our pace of life. But also when we are feeling stressed or anxious or tired, to notice when you've done this, whatever it is, movement, breathwork, meditation, notice when you've done that previously, how it feels. And then you can then come back into that body, or you come back into that state of mind quickly, because you know which one to do when you are feeling a certain way. And then you can then get back to it quite easily.
Because I've had a lot of people kind of come on talking about the breathwork and my own kind of views as well. So there's been times that I've done ones that I was seeing colours and everything. It was like tripping, and there was another time I was on the beach and it was like somebody else is holding on the water, and it felt like I was coming down the birth canal and everything. But then there's just the kind of that you're just breathing, that you just feel right, that you're kind of present in the moment. And like, I think it's good when you're in a right kind of environment, facility, to go heavy, because I don't know, does it kind of, I suppose it's like tripping. It's like, I don't do acid. I've never done acid, but it's like, that's what it sounds like. And that's okay when there's people around you. But I think if you're online or something like that and you're on your own, because, you know, we are aware traumas can kind of surface, that we should kind of take it a bit, you know, and be conscious that somebody doesn't have somebody around. Sometimes people are on their own and you don't want them to go through, kind of realize what's happened to them when they were younger.
Yes, yeah. And especially if something like that does come up, or sometimes when you're in a meditation or breath work, all of those things can happen, but then sometimes also they don't make sense. So it might be that you might get a message from a previous or a past loved one or an ancestor, and you don't know what it means, or that you are really feeling that energy and you get hot, or wherever your hands are placed, or somewhere where there is trauma in your body, it will get hot. And that is the energy trying to move up and out and come out. But it's also knowing when you do feel triggered, then you can need to talk to someone, because you've gone into this state of consciousness, and this being this thing, whatever it is, needs to be addressed and come out. And also this can happen with crying. Crying is not bad. Crying is a very powerful thing, that it's the energy stuck in your body. And when you do let it out, you feel such a big sigh of relief. You feel so light, because you're kind of keeping it all in. And during or with society, we're taught that crying is bad, when actually it's not. It's such an amazing release of your body. And when you do, if you have gone through trauma and you know it might come up, or even if you haven't had trauma, but you know maybe a previous ancestor has had trauma. Say with me, I have a miscarriage in 2012. And then also our relationship kind of suffered in 2006. But I wouldn't say that's a very traumatic thing. But some people go through a lot of trauma. And I've got pain in my pelvis. So a few, depending on how woo-woo we go. A lot of people have said to me that my past ancestors, my female ancestors, have never been able to speak out. And the pain that I have in my pelvis is that pain that they are wanting me to speak out on behalf of them. And since I've known that, it's been incredible. I've been able to actually speak my truth, and I feel so much better, and my pelvis is healing, which is incredible. But just by the mindset, the breath work, the power within me, it can really trigger some things as well, or trigger some other people, especially when I'm working with my clients, that I don't know what their past is, but when I'm doing like a meditation with them or breathwork practice, even through Zoom, I can feel it, and they're not even aware. And then sometimes I then have to say, okay, were you aware of this and this and this? And then it's time to then move through that trauma. But it's also knowing your limitations, knowing how you feel when you are at that point in your meditation or yoga practice or breathwork practice, to actually think, okay, this doesn't feel right. I need to seek some help from this.
And I suppose let's touch on the tapping, because we can say like kung fu chops and stuff like that, but you might explain it for those that haven't heard about it, and then kind of tell us the type of tapping that you're doing.
Yeah, so it's called Emotional Freedom Technique, or EFT tapping, and it brings in line all of the different meridian points in your body. So we start off by tapping using two fingers, like index finger, middle finger, just at the base of the opposite hand, just at the base of your thumb, and just in the middle of your wrist. And you start tapping, and it's releasing these different energies within your body. So it's when you start tapping, you say these affirmations, and this can be anything. So it's always coming back to loving and accepting yourself. So you will always say something, and then you will say, okay, I love and accept myself. And then you just tap on the meridian point. So one of them is your middle finger, index finger on the other hand, tapping there for a few breaths or sentences. Then you move to the eyebrows. So you tap with your middle finger, index finger on your eyebrows. And then you go down to your cheeks, underneath your mouth, and in between your nose and your mouth. Then your chin, then collarbone, underneath your arms, and top of your head. And then you just keep doing that for 3 or 4 rounds, 2 or 3 or 5 or 6 taps on each meridian point. And then noticing as you keep going through the motions, it brings up all these feelings or this energetic movement in your body. You might feel some sensations like tingling, maybe in your brain, maybe in your fingers. It's this movement of energy. And it really is incredible because it really helps to move through all of, maybe you've had trauma and you're actually doing a specific EFT tapping on trauma. So it's just allowing yourself and your body to come back to a natural state and releasing all of this. And I do it every day. It's just amazing. It's so good. But you can do it for anything. You can do it for manifesting. You can do it for, trauma healing, just calming yourself down, especially if you have anxiety or you're really stuck with something, you're really stuck with a question and you're not sure where to go. Just asking yourself, how do I feel today? Am I okay? Will I be okay? And just listening to the thoughts and feelings. And sometimes I'll do it in the shower. You can do it wherever. It's just coming back to yourself for at least 5 minutes a day and knowing how it feels. Because once you start it, it just feels so good. I love it.
Well, I think, when people are overwhelmed and they think they have so much to do, that's the time you need to step away and take 5-10 minutes for yourself, because you'll find that you'll be so much more productive afterwards. When you're going to allow time for you, then you're in your zone, you're not worried about anything, and everything is good.
Yeah, definitely. Especially if you're working from home, you have a busy household, you have children, you've got to do X, Y, and Z. Or you're in the workplace and you've got so many emails to get done, you've got targets to achieve, you've got people higher than you, bugging you constantly, come on. That is when we need it the most. Or when you've just had, I don't know, you've had a bereavement or you've had something in the family or some bad news. Coming back to this can really just bring you back into the present moment, because we're constantly thinking of the next thing every day, every minute of the day. We're constantly thinking, right, what am I doing next? What am I going to do next? And it brings you back into being in the moment. And when we do come back into the moment, it then just transforms how you feel, because then you're concentrating on your breath. You're concentrating on doing this thing right there and then. And it just resets your brain. It resets everything. It resets your breath work, just everything. Your nervous system. Nervous system is a massive one, because we're constantly in a state of fight or flight. And even society, we are constantly being taught fight or flight all the time. And we as women as well, we're working like 9 to 5, 7 days a week, 5 days a week, whatever it is. Our bodies as women are not set up for that. Our bodies are set up for a 28-ish day cycle, whereas men are a 24-hour cycle. So it's allowing our bodies as females to really tap into that energy. So the feminine, masculine kind of thing, we all have that within our bodies. It's just noticing how we feel when we are in different scenarios, and bringing calmness back into the nervous system will really allow you to just be in the present moment.
I just kind of, with the craziness that's going on in the world, and I saw this, you've worked for corporations like Chanel, Nike, Superdrug, I believe. Was that doing yoga or tapping or breathwork, or what exactly were you doing?
Actually, it was yoga. Basically, it was yoga. But we did bring breathwork and we did some meditation. So within the hour classes, we do 5 minutes of shavasana, relaxation at the beginning, then movement, so yoga. And then we then bring breath work into it. A couple of EFTs, I think I did with Chanel, we did EFT tapping and then shavasana, relaxation at the end, because they're coming to me as like a team building exercise, and they're having fun because they're moving, they're messing around, they're doing yoga. And my classes aren't really, they're fun. They're not really regimented because then, especially with their work colleagues, they need to have a bit of fun. They're team building, and just by coming back into it a lot, into your body, a lot of them noticed where they needed to work on, because then when they go back to the office, they're so much more productive. They can bring all of these different things that we learn in class into the office. So I did send them some things actually online to do in the office. So yoga poses for the office. So just sat at your desk, moving your body, even if you feel really anxious and tired, bringing breath work into just sat at your desk. You don't have to move away from your desk, but it is acceptable and it is supposed to be going outside and just getting some fresh air. But yeah, I love doing the teamwork building because it's just fun and it really just allows them to become more of a team, especially if something's happened or they just need that extra support. It just, yeah, I loved it. Nike was really good fun as well. We did that outside. So that was really, really
excellent. And like, what I like about that is when you look at the kind of higher levels and the corporations and the different things they're doing, a lot of the people, say middle management, lower management, they get promoted. And these are the people then that if they embrace the breath work or the different things, as they go up the line, they'll make sure that the people that are below them are experiencing that as well, which in turn makes the organization a lot better.
Hello. I was like, oh, he's gone.
When I was chatting away, I was like, I saw you froze, so then I just started talking. I later said anyway. So, had you finished with what you?
I don't know where we got to. Sorry.
Okay, so you were talking about the thing. So what I'll do is I'll just mention my part because I can highlight it and put in the thing. So what I like about that with when you're kind of working with the corporations, because like, I mean, everyone is kind of understanding that a lot of these kind of organizations aren't great, but when they allow this to happen is great. And the thing is, a lot of these people, they're getting promoted. And if they start embracing breath work, yoga, tapping, all these different things, I think they become better people and more empathic, more in tune with their own emotions, which in turn, like there's a lot of people, they hate their jobs because they hate their bosses because they're abusive. So when you get people that have come through this and go up, they're going to make sure that the people below them experience this as well. They're not going to be abusing them. And I think eventually they'll become the leaders of the company and we'll see big changes happening. And I'm talking to a few people now, and I'm shocked with some of the companies that are actually kind of having meditations and stuff like that. And I'm delighted to hear that because I thought they would close the door and they wouldn't be interested in that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think it's happened since the pandemic as well. A lot of people are struggling with their mental health, but then also they're bringing in mental health days, or certainly like with Nike, Chanel and Superdrug that I worked with last year, they all do the teamwork building thing. So they will all go out and do something together, which I think is amazing because it really does allow you to build the teamwork. And then no matter what company you're with or no matter what department you're in, even if you have like higher MDs, even with the lower people, that's the word. You know what I mean?
Umpa-lumpas.
Then you're all together. And I find that now I do a staff yoga class at a local spa that I teach at. And we have like MDs down to the cleaners because we have the staff yoga. So anybody comes, and within the room where I'm teaching or wherever we're teaching, everyone is equal. It doesn't matter if you're higher up, if you're lower, if you've got all these different qualifications. Everybody in the same room is doing exactly the same at that point in time. And they're all coming to move their bodies. They're all coming to feel better about themselves. And when you actually take away everybody's stature, I suppose, and you're all the same, you then just let go of all of this ego and you let go of all of the, well, he's better than I am or she's better than me, because yoga, certainly, this is going to sound awful, that yoga in a male perspective can be very competitive. Now, I have a couple of males in my Ashtanga class on a Wednesday morning. It's really competitive. And then all the women are like, no, it's not competitive. I can get my leg higher than you can. And one of them was very, very good. I've got bad pelvis, so I can't really do some of the moves. But yeah, he just goes for it. But that's not the point of yoga. The point is to bring yourself into your own body and really notice how your body feels at that time. So you're not worrying about what your neighbor's doing in class. You're not worrying about what anybody else is doing. You're focused on you. So when you come into, say, the corporate world, there is sometimes that competition between, well, you got that job and I went for that job and I didn't get it, but you got it. So by bringing in more of a positive attitude and helping people through the mental health journey, I suppose, really, really does help to bring all of this movement in. Because when you feel like tonight is a full moon, so we have there's a real heavy energy around. Yesterday I was feeling really like tired and heavy and just weird, really odd. But today I feel a bit better. But when we look into kind of the moon cycle, again, we're getting a bit woo-woo. But when we look into the moon cycle, it does affect our bodies. And especially with teachers, and not like, children's teachers, school teachers, they can really notice a difference with children. Certainly a couple of days before the full moon, all the kids go nuts. Now, there's no scientific-based evidence around this, but it's true. If you ask a teacher when the full moon is, they'll go, oh, yeah, it's in 2 or 3 days' time, because all the kids are nuts. So there's certainly something there. But bringing it into the workplace can, have such a profound effect on everybody, because it makes you so much more productive. And before the pandemic, I used to teach at an accountant's just up the road from us, like 2 minutes away. And they saw a massively significant increase in their work production in the afternoon. So I would do Wednesday lunchtime, I would go and do a yoga class for half an hour. And they would then come back and feel really energized and positive and get most of their work done within the Wednesday afternoon compared to Monday and Tuesday, which is just incredible. So by bringing in all of these different modalities into the workplace, it can change everyone's work perspective, I suppose.
So the book, Be Fit, Baby Enhanced Exercise Fitness. So when did you write that, and what exactly are you covering? And obviously Be Fit, right?
It took about 2 years to write. It was a love-hate relationship. But I self-published it in December 2020, I think it was in the end. And it is a book, it's about postpartum mum. So it's about exercising with your baby. And a lot of my friends came to me and said, I've had 2 children and I went down to my pre-pregnancy weight quite quickly. And my friends were like, well, how have you done that? And I just said, incorporated 5 or 10 minutes of yoga or movement by when you're doing things with a baby, or when you have a toddler. When you have children, you have no time at all. Now mine are older, it's okay, oldish. It's okay. You do have time-ish to go to the gym. But certainly when they're babies, you don't have an hour like you used to go to the gym. So it's just about incorporating yoga poses and exercises, using your baby as a weight. Now that sounds awful, but using your baby, so having your baby in a wrap attached to you. And then so you can then do gentle exercises, and you're actually incorporating the love, the compassion, the bonding between you and your baby, but you're also still getting exercise as well. So when mine were a little older, when they were sat in the high chair, I would do squats while I was feeding them, or at the park, which I still do now, push them on the swings and do some squats in between, or do a burpee in between each one, because then that's bringing the fun into working out. It's bringing the fun into their life as well, and they see exercise as fun. Or certainly when I'm doing my own yoga practice in the mornings, they'll come and jump on me. They're age 10 and 6 now, but they'll jump on me and want me to do tree pose while they're hanging off my back. But with the book, it's just allowing yourself, I think there's 44 different yoga poses or exercises. It's just allowing yourself to have that me time. And me time might look completely different from you to me, but it's just having that time together, but also having that time to just breathe and just feel better about yourself. Because as a new mum as well, you have a mummy tummy, your body's not what it used to be, you haven't got much self-love, and it's bringing that back into thinking, okay, I've just birthed the baby, my body's just been through 9 months of chaos, and learning to love and accept you for you now.
I love it, because I mean, I've actually seen a friend that had the child now about 2, but I saw that she was doing all, the burpees, all the different things. But it's like a rocking movement as well for the child. So it's soothing for the child, where some people kind of go, oh, you can't do that. And, as you say, even feeding the kids and everything, it's just about habits. And at the end of the day, like 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, but it adds up. It all kind of works. So now that you said you're just finally that you're like 6 and 10, with all the different things you're doing, like the yoga, the breathwork. Probably breathwork might be a bit much for me, I don't know, but is it something that they're watching you and you're just leaving them be, or is it something that they're getting involved themselves?
Yeah, they do actually. They know, or it's funny, whenever I'm meditating or I'm doing breathwork on my own, everyone kind of gravitates towards me. Like even the cat will come up and sit next to me. Or that they will just come up. They can feel my energy coming out and expanding out, and then they will just want to be with me. So if they do want to be with me, they can still just be on their tablets if they're on their tablets devices, or they can do it with me. And sometimes my son is quite, not sensitive, that's the wrong word, but he is very highly energized, as in like he will feel all people's negative energies around him, and he just absorbs these. So I have learned, certainly I know his little things now. When he feels a bit upset, he's not really sure where to go, we look at each other and I say, right, take 3 big deep breaths, and we both do it together, and then he just feels so much calmer. And we blow into each other's faces because that's fun. So he's then getting out all of this energy. Or certainly when I used to, actually, I don't so much anymore, but when I did do my yoga poses, they would want to do it as well. So then they would get a mat next to me and just copy me. And it's just bringing the fun into it. And if you work with me as well, like with relationship coach stuff, all of it is about fun, because we're an adult now. We shouldn't have any fun. But yeah, right. We still need to have fun. We're still adults, but we're still kids at the same time. So it's all about bringing the funness back into whatever situation you're in. And we shouldn't be highly stressed. We shouldn't be highly anxious, but we are. And all of these things, different social media channels, everything is just so negative all the time. And by trying to really allow yourself to let go of things, like today, actually, I just deleted my Instagram account because I don't like Instagram anymore. It's so negative. And I just thought, no, can't be doing with this. And my energies don't like it. I'm getting rid of it. So by bringing good intentions, good, I don't know what the word is, I suppose, mindfulness into your daily life, that then affects the children, and they see you doing it, so they will automatically copy you, because whatever you do, they do. So if you're happy, healthy, you work out like my husband works out in the bedroom for half an hour when the kids are in the bath or something, so they will then come and join him. So it's always just having a happy, healthy family, knowing that they can talk about whatever they want to, when they want to as well. So as soon as one of them comes to me, or Darren, my husband, and will say, I want to say something, right, everything just gets put down. You need to say it now, because otherwise you'll be like, no, I can't do it right now. I'm cooking, or I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And then they've forgotten about it, or they just bottle it up. So that's not a good way to be. As soon as you bottle something up, things build and build and build. So it's doing it there and then.
Like, just on the relationship coaching, do you actually talk to both couples at the same time, or do you have meetings at separate times?
Yeah, normally it's just the female of the group, or the relationship, I suppose, the couple, but I do work with couples as well. But yes, so we do, if it's a couple, we will work together, but then I will have 2 separate calls with both of them as well, separate. So then we can work on one of their issues, or whatever issue it is, and then they might have something else, and then we then group back again together the next session, and then we go through, okay, well, you've got this issue, or this, you've got this issue, this is how we need to group back together, this is how we need to communicate our wants, needs and desires, and just go from there, really. So it is like a step-by-step process, but it ends up working out in the end.
Right, because it's I think it's very good, because it's like you're coming from a neutral ground, whereas everybody, if they're sitting together, whatever, if they're coming from their own emotions, and they can get triggered easily. And then when you're coming from a neutral, you can kind of know how to navigate it. And I think sometimes people are afraid to actually, to go to a coach for something like that. But the most important thing is actually, the relationship, the family and all that. And it's like, don't just throw in the towel. It's like to seek help if there's problems and you can resolve them. I mean, at the end of the day, when you met the person, you fell in love and you were crazy about them. And there was just something changed in between, and that can be changed back.
Yeah, definitely. There's three things: communication, trust, and intimacy. If all those three things, or one of those three things, is out of sync, then the rest is going to be. So it mainly is communication and how to navigate that. So it's coming to me and we can work out how to do that, where to do that, but coming back to yourself. So when you do feel anxious or, I need to bring that up because that's going to affect them, or it's going to affect me, or I don't know how to bring it up, coming back to breath work, meditation, movement, and really getting it clear in your head before you then actually say, okay, we need to sit down and we need to talk. So it's about having that self-trust, that self-preservation, and also just being okay, finding the confidence to do that by doing the self-care work first, and then you can then come into that conversation.
Excellent. And thoroughly enjoyed the conversation, Jim. And I know that we spoke about your beautiful children, and I know you've got to collect them. So you might let us know where people can find you.
Yeah, I'm on my website, which is GemmaNice.com, NICE.com, or LinkedIn, Gemma Nice. You can find me over there as well.
I'll make sure I put both on the audio and the video. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's all for the meditation podcast. Be sure to share, give us a thumbs up, 5-star rating, and a comment. Even if you didn't agree with what we said, we read all the comments. Until next week, take care. So I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. As mentioned at the start, you can find my 6 podcasts on roycollin.com or scan the QR code if you're looking to start a podcast or do a podcasting tour, help with that. Also, if you're looking for a virtual assistant, we also have that service. And you can help the show by visiting the store, supporting our sponsors, or making a donation. Until next week, take care.